Hello everybody, Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular, is here. I picked up some bars from a local shop, and I'll tell you right now, there's some fake stuff in here, and I want to go over it with you and determine what's fake. So now I bought this kind of as a lot. It was a group of different bars, and I'm going to pull them out and show you what I have. All right, so this is what I had to look at. A lot like this of bars and a couple little rounds. Based on a quick little glance when you're going to a shop, are you able to tell what's fake here? If there is anything fake here, it can be very rough, right? Try to tell me in the comments. I'll give you a second to try to tell me what you think is fake. Okay, seconds up. So now actually what I did is I went through every piece here, and I used the Sigma Metalytics Precious Metals Verifier and tested every single piece to see if they were coming up as silver. A few pieces, 3 to be exact, didn't show up correctly, and I want to go ahead and show you which pieces those are. I'm going to move these out of the way, because these all came up legit. And yes, the Sigma Metalytics with the little tiny baby wand, it even tests these little 1 gram bars, and they came out to be 999 fine silver. They showed up as legit. But 3 bars did not test correctly. It was these 3 right here. So let me show you the first ones. These are some kind of like German symbol bars. I've never seen these before. And they're 5 grams, which is kind of an unusual size. But they feel right. They feel like a silver bar. They really do. They feel plenty heavy, but the Sigma did not like them. I think I found one listing on eBay, and they had a decent premium on these right here. All of the bars, when they're small like this, tend to have a premium on them. So, you get a little excited when you see the little bars. Now, I also seen this Northwest Territorial Mint bar. Now, I do have some myself that are actually in the mint sealed little packages, and here they are. And, I thought, hey, why not add one more to the collection? And I seen it in this plastic case right here, and it was, just like that in the shop, and so of course it's included. The Sigma did not like this bar either. The first thing I would recommend is when you get a bar and it's in some kind of plastic, is you definitely want to check it. Just don't assume that because it's in plastic that means that it's good. Now, I get if it's a coin and it's in some kind of slab, from a PCGS or NGC, you're not going to crack it out of that and test it and try to stick it back in. But like an airtight or something, take it out real quick, test it, and then put it back. It's no big deal. If you're worried about getting some kind of grime on it, wear gloves. Now, this one right here is not an airtight. You can see there's a little place right there to put your fingernail and kind of pry it open, and it's not hard to pry open at all. It's very loose on there. This is not a genuine airtight style holder. This was made probably for the intent of putting a fake bar into. No joke, believe it or not. And actually, as a comparison, I have an authentic airtight holder for a 1 ounce bar, and it's right here, and you can see the difference. Look at the difference in size, shape, everything. Much different in size. If you have an airtight that's meant for a certain thing, so for instance this 1 ounce bar, you can actually put the bar inside of there, and if it's not fitting right, it's probably not a 1 ounce bar. The first thing I did is I got this and I took it out, and I tried to shake it out. It wasn't coming out very well. And after I took it out, I compared it to another bar that I bought, which is this right here, this Ashai, I don't know how to say it right, but this bar right there. And I put it up next to it, right? And this was a dead giveaway. I said, wow, that's much thicker. It's a little bit, if I put them up close, you can almost tell that it's a little bit shorter. It's shorter and thicker, right? So that was kind of a red flag to me. So I was like, well, I better go test. Got the old Sigma Metalytics machine out, and let me show you what this thing did. It did it to me when I first tested it. Let's see if it's going to do it again. I've never had this happen before when I tested metals. So let me show you. I'm going to run it, calibrate it, bring it down to 999 fine silver, and run it again. Okay, now it says place the sample. Let me see if I can zoom out just a little, because I do want you to see what happens here. Now first, I'll start with the legit bar. And I know it's legit because I've already tested it. So let me go ahead and show you what should happen. Okay, when I test it, when I put it on the sensor, it should show within these brackets, right? So this is a good bar. But now watch what happens with this, you know, what I'm calling a fake bar. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it eventually to show you what's inside. Look at that. Nothing happens. It just, nothing. I mean, zero. And what also started happening is I was like, maybe I'll just use the wand. Maybe the machine's messing up. So let me show you what happens when I use the wand on it. All right, so I have like the large size wand here. I'm going to run it again. And watch what this does to the machine when I put it up to it. Look at that. It just like resets it. It just like turns it off. And I was like, that's weird. I've never seen that before. It's really messing up the machine, whatever is in this bar. And I'll do it again. Boom. It turns it off. Nothing I've ever tested has done that before to the Sigma Metalytics. Let me do one more test real quick. Since we're using the Sigma, I'm going to test these little bars and show you what those do. All right. Now for this one, I have the little tiny baby wand. I'm sure it's called a small wand, everybody, but I love calling it the little tiny baby wand because it is just a little tiny baby. It's so cute. So I have this one ready to go. I'm going to use the little tiny baby wand on this bar. Now, very clever was this company right here that made this, because they made it in a way that you can't really test well, because see how the high relief is all over the place? There's no good place or a solid flat surface to stick this wand on, whereas other bars have some areas like here, where you can stick the wand and get a full like flat surface on there. This is very clever. This is a good way to make a fake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just stick it wherever I can and see what comes up. See how the arrow is so far over? Which sometimes you get that with these bars that don't have a good surface area to test. You'll get the little arrow starting to come over to the right, or the bar over here, and you just got to find a sweet spot to get it on there. But there is no sweet spot here. Nothing at all works on this thing because I don't believe it's real. We're going to cut these open too, and hopefully they're fake, because these could have a premium on there if they weren't. But real quick, just to show you that the wand, the little tiny baby wand, can do really thin pieces, no problem. I'll do a couple of these little 1 gram and 1/10 ounce silver pieces. Here's the 1 gram piece, and you can see it shows it right in the middle. And here's a 1/10 piece, and again, it shows it perfectly good, no problem. And just for fun, because this right here does not register on the machine, I want to show you what a legit Northwest Territorial Mint piece should show up as. And I'm going to put it here. And there you can see it's right there in the middle of the brackets. So the next thing I was curious about was what they weighed, right? And I don't ever recommend only doing one type of test for things. You kind of want to see what everything's all about. I want to switch this one to troy ounce real quick. Okay, I'm on troy ounce here. I know sometimes the scale is hard to see on this camera. I'm going to try to move it a little bit so we can get a good visual. But let's see what this weighs in at. This is troy ounce again. And 1.02 troy ounce. That's not a big deal, actually. Sometimes these bars weigh just a little bit over. You never want them to weigh under an ounce, but sometimes they are over. Let's see, just for reference, this legit bar, what this comes in at. 1.01. Again, legit bar weighing a little bit over an ounce. That's not a problem at all. Now let's see. This is what I found interesting about these little pieces. Now I've switched the machine to gram because I'm coming down to the smaller size. These are supposed to be 5 grams. So let's see what these weigh in at. I found this interesting. I think you will too. 6.7 grams. Nobody's going to give you a free 1.5, 1.7 grams for free when you're dealing with such a small amount of silver. So that was a big red flag as well. Let's weigh them both. 13.4 when they should be 10 grams. So you're getting a free almost 3.5 grams for free of silver. A business wouldn't stay in business very long if they were selling them like that. So again, probably no good. So the next thing I did is I asked my wife to get some magnets off the fridge. Now I bought a lot of these right here, these little rare earth magnets. And I use them on the fridge to pin up little papers and notes that we have. They work great, man. They're so strong, but they are fragile. If you drop them on the ground, they shatter, they break pretty easily. But she gave me one of those, and I decided to try out these on the bars. And this is what happened. The little bars had nothing, no effect right here. The big bar, on the other hand, did show some magnetic properties. Now we know that silver is not magnetic in the way that it would cause it to stick to a magnet like this. It does react to magnet in a different way, and I'll show you that along with another test that you can do. Now I want to start out with a real bar to show you how a magnet should react to a real bar. And I'll try to do it on different angles so that you can see exactly what happens. Now this little tiny magnet should slowly slide down but not actually stick to the silver metal. See how slow that was? And I just totally lost that magnet. Let's try another magnet, because I'd lost that one. Let's try from this angle. Watch how slow this goes. Now this is a pretty good angle now. You know, if you look at it, this is much higher than really is recommended for this little sliding test. And I like to do a higher degree because then it really tells the tale. Look how slow that is. And you're thinking, well, that's just how slow a magnet should fall down something when it's at that kind of angle, right? Well, let me put the same angle on this is what I'm calling fake, right? This I'm calling not silver. So let's see if there's a difference in speed. See how it almost instantly comes down? There is no resistance, none whatsoever. It just slides right down. It falls down. It's free falling. It's like Tom Petty right here. It's a Tom Petty of magnets when it's on the fake bar. It just free falls. It's such a different speed, is it not? I believe they recommend about a 45-degree angle or so when doing this slide test, so you can really see what's going on. Way different, way different. And again, let's try to get the same angle on the Tom Petty bar and see it just instantly falls off, everybody. So just for fun, I want to use a big magnet because it's very interesting to me to see what happens with a big magnet when you do these tests. You can see the strength in this thing right here. It's crazy how strong some of these magnets get. A lot of people ask me where you can get these from. You can get these from like eBay. They do come out of China. For some reason, China has them dirt cheap. You can get it from the USA as well, but they are a bit more expensive. All right, so now let's see if this bar right here sticks to the ashy bar. Nope. Okay, these things right here are driving me crazy though. I got to get rid of these, or just keep them on there. I'll just keep them on. Okay, it does not stick to any of these right here, but let's see if it's, jeez, that scared me. That was very powerful. Stuck like, I don't know, like a magnet to the Northwest Territorial bar, and that is on there pretty good. That is really, I wish you could feel what that feels like. Let me put that down and stop playing with it. So, not a real bar, that one right there. Now there's one final thing that I want to do, and I think you know how I want to deal with it. I'm going to use these right here. Here's some recent fakes that I've done videos on, and I've cut each one, and I've noticed that two are like this brass, right? And these are the non-magnetic types. I would assume that these right here, these two little guys, are going to have this color inside, this brass. So I'm going to put those here, and I would imagine, if my calculations are right, and this is a guess right now before I decide to cut it, that this Northwest Territorial Mint is going to have more of this metallic color, magnetic material inside. And it's hard to tell. Let me see if I can zoom in and really show you. But it's not brass in color. It's just regular kind of, silvery color inside. So maybe like a nickel or something like that is in there. I don't know, but I would imagine that's going to be what's in here. So let's cut it open, because that's the only way to find out what's inside is by cutting it open and seeing what's going on. So which one should we start with first? Let's start with the little one first, because that little one's going to be easier for me to cut. I want to get through here, so let me start there. Wish me luck. Hopefully this doesn't pop back into my eyeball. All right, so the first one is going to be first, because if not, it would be the last one. And here it is. As you can see, it's kind of a gold color inside, just like I thought it probably would be. So maybe a brass inside. I don't know what the metal is, of course, but it's definitely not silver, because silver should be silver inside and not gold in color. So these are officially fake. Darn, because what a cool piece to have little 5 grams, you know what I mean? Those would have been cool. So next, this is going to be hard to get through, but next we're going to try this. Again, I believe it's going to be like a silverish color inside, but obviously not silver because it is magnetic. All right, here it is. I'm getting good at this. It's silver in color, but obviously, like I said before, it is magnetic, so it cannot possibly be silver. You know, there's the magnet right there. Another magnet I have sticking to it. And yeah, kind of sad because, you know, again, I like these bars, man. I love collecting them, but I'm not collecting fake stuff. That's for sure. Be very careful out there. Make sure that you're testing everything. There's no reason not to just test stuff, right? It can come from anywhere. People say all the time, I buy from a reputable dealer so I don't have to worry about it. That's cool, man. I totally understand that and I recommend it. But, you know, reputable dealers buy from shady characters. And that's just the way it works. You know, they have to get inventory in all the time. They can't always buy from reputable people. They have to buy from people, you know, out in the public somewhere. And people that are trying to sell fake stuff, they buy from those people too. A lot of times they filter through it and they test themselves and they get rid of that stuff. But every now and then something could, you know, seep through. And, you know, be careful. Make sure you're testing all of your stuff. There's no reason not to. And it's fun. It's interesting. It's going to keep your excitement up about what you're doing. You know, test it. Make sure, be confident about what you have. If you do find a fake, do something like this to it where you rip it up. I'm going to scratch this one up too and probably write fake on there or just scratch it up completely to where people aren't going to want to buy this again. If somebody sees all these scratches right here, they're going to be like, wow, I can't buy that because it's all scratched up. It wouldn't be for me. Oh, just kidding. You thought I wasn't going to do that. And last but not least, just for fun, that last one got the special treatment to it. You can see by the way this thing scraped it actually, that just a very thin layer is silver in color. So it might be silver plated, or it could be anything on the surface. Who knows? They might not have even used silver whatsoever. But yeah, not good. Very sad. Hopefully you use these videos as I intend them, as a way to find out if something you have is fake, rather than being so scared that you can't come into the hobby. Just realize this stuff is out there, but it's not to where, you know, everywhere you go, you're going to see it. It's kind of rare. It's rare to find the fake. If you like the video, please thumbs up. Share it with others that are in this hobby. Let them know that there's stuff out there that they got to be aware of and for them to test their stuff. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. And if you have some fakes, please send them to me because we can get more information out there to people and it would be beneficial to people rather than have these fakes just sitting there in your collection and making you sad. We can use them in a positive way. So send them to me. My P.O. box is always down in the description of the video. But I got to go for now. I got to go. Spegtacular is out.